Welcome to the 2019 APTA Nationals, presented locally by PNC, with thanks also to the APTA's national official sponsors, Viking and Uline. We are live from the Fox Chapel Racquet Club in Pittsburgh on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live. I'm Laura Mandel, along with Brad Easterbrook, bringing you this men's third-round match between the number 15 seeds, Johan Randt and Stephen Mitchell, and the unseeded team of Adam Gart and Thomas Nolan. Brad, why don't you tell us a little bit about these guys?
Absolutely. So we got Gart and Nolan. For them to come up there. There we go. Adam Gart is from originally the Boston area, but he's moved out to Denver, Colorado now, and his partner Thomas Nolan from South Boston, Mass. Very good team, and not a surprise that they're here in the round of 32. And they're playing against three-time national champion Johan Randt and his partner Stephen Mitchell. Randt is the director at Racket Sports at the Country Club in Mass. And Stephen Mitchell is also a professional from up in the Boston area. So we look forward to a great match here. And why don't we take a look at the players on the court. They're out there warming up. And just going from the bottom right, we have a little switch in gears there. And we have here, looking at it, we have Adam Gart in the gray cap right in the front of your screen right there. And his partner on the far side, Thomas Nolan, in the orange cap. And on the far side of the court, we have Johan Randt, who's wearing also a baseball cap. Oh, now we're switching it back again. So the bottom left here is Johan Randt serving. He's got a blue and white cap, and his partner Stephen Mitchell in the black hoodie there, also with a cap on. It's sunny out there today, so you see a lot of players with their hats on, getting the brims to put the sun down. It's coming. You can see where their shadows are right from the left, so it won't be too bad for the right-handed players. If you're a lefty looking into the sun, however, it's going to make a difference. Now this match is filled with righties, so I don't expect it to be a problem at all.
Big contrast to yesterday, though, when there was not a speck of sun to be found. It was easy on the players.
All right, why don't we take a look at the draw, see how these players got there. And you see this is up the top quarter of the draw. And you have a good match for Randt and Mitchell, 2 and 3, Ambrose McNally. They had a pretty easy run of it through so far. Just that one match, and this will be their first test. Gart and Nolan are a solid team. They have offense, some tricky spinny shots, move it around. You'd have to say Randt and Mitchell are the favors here, and the winner here will go on to probably play Hughes and Powers. All right, why don't we listen to the umpire, who I believe is up there.
And his partner in the deuce court from Natick, Massachusetts, Stephen Mitchell. To my left in the deuce court from Denver, Colorado, Adam Gart. His partner in the ad court from South Boston, Massachusetts, Thomas Nolan. Randt and Mitchell have won the toss and have elected to receive. You don't call any lines, right? I don't call anything unless you ask me. Yep. Thank you.
All right, see Johan Randt clarifying with the umpire. This is Adam Gart to serve, and we're underway.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll see Thomas Nolan, the big guy here in the orange cap. He will have a funny kind of Eastern forehand grip that he'll hit volleys with. He'll hit a lot more forehand volleys than your average guys. He has good soft hands, but he won't be like a technical volleyer. You'll see him use that grip for a lot of his overheads as well. It's unique. And they're going to move him over there, so he'll hit a lot of rollers. He takes most of the overheads, you'll see. And you can see Gart looking up there to try and cut balls off. I don't know that I love the strategy against Randt and Mitchell because their forehands are so good.
Well, he was there. He was in place to cut it off, but he just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, you have to be so superior up there at the net.
You go.
Heavy rollers. They're going to test Mitchell. Now he's still pretty new to the scene. Very good tennis player, Mitchell. And he's on the bottom right of our screen. He's got a really good forehand, decent volley, but he's still new. He doesn't have any sort of tricky shots or drives off the screen really, or blitz moves. It's really standard kind of set up and look for the forehand. But it's still a tough team. Steady, heavy rollers in there from Gart. And so that's Adam Gart over there in the colored. Then Mitchell will take a ride at the forehand, but he'll get antsy if you hit him a lot of balls. You know.
And he sees a lot of balls.
Yeah.
With Johan Durant.
Johan Durant's obviously Johan Durant. You know, best athletes to play the game, most talented players. Dropping balls low, playing the ball low through the court. You see that shot a lot in the men's game. Good read from Thomas Nolan there. He sees once he took his paddle up high to make the high contact point, that means he's going to hit down on the ball. Thomas Nolan jumped the root there and made a great shot. So good hold there from Adam Gart.
Nolan. 1-0. Gart Nolan.
Gart and Nolan they'll play like a good solid style. They tend to make a lot of good choices.
I'm good, thank you.
Able to grind.
Yeah, they play together all the time, or their tournaments, so they're a good team.
Yeah, they sort of busted on the scene maybe 2 years ago, and then last year sort of confirmed it. They had a good win over Budistan Stojisavljevic. You know, in the Nationals, did a round of 16 last year. It's a good team.
Love 15.
We get out to the initial stages here of a match, getting it underway. Always feeling each other out for a bit. I feel, Lauren, like sometimes you wonder, you never know always what Johan Durant you're going to get, or when he's going to kick it in and start trying to take over an attack and hit cut overheads. Right now, he's just pushing the ball deep in play.
15-all.
Absolutely. Sometimes he's impatient, you know, he doesn't want to, and he just plays differently. Always plays well.
I think he's looking, you know, to see what type of play he needs. Does he need to take over and start attacking more? Does he need to, you know, do this? So he's feeling it out right now. Oh.
30-15.
Casual miss there from Gart. It's interesting with all those shadows out there. Just even watching it here on a monitor, ball goes in and out of the shadows. I wonder if that's going to play anything at all. I don't think the sun, like we said, is going to bother anybody too badly. But a lot of shadows.
Oh. There was one.
That's the first attempt. He sort of did it last second. You know, he was a little late to the party there, and he just made an error. Ooh.
A lot of volleying behind the back here.
Like hip volleys with the forehand as opposed to keeping it front.
Not
That's
not
a good
the way
cutter.
you see it in the instruction manual.
All right, both teams content to play the ball down the middle, and the backcourt team just lobbing up, looking for their drives when they get an opportunity, but not lobbing well enough to get anything. Or maybe Gart and Nolan are just trying to activate some sort of shot clock on Mitchell and Randt, you know, frustrate him by continually putting the ball in play. Very little to work with. Oh, misplay.
Mitchell. Score is 1-1.
It's not a bad play to do that. You know, we've always talked about some teams and some players have a certain kind of shot clock. If you go in there early and say, hey, you know what? We're not going to give you anything. So if we give you nothing, that sort of forces the other team to try and press the action a little bit, and maybe they're going to come up with some errors or make some mistakes.
Well, if you're a player like Durant or Juan Araya who likes to end points, then you will. I mean, you'll start to do it. And most of the time they're successful.
Shots or missing shots, right?
Most of the time they're successful, but it's worth a try.
Ooh. See, there's that sort of grip that you'll see on Thomas Nolan. You see him watching and waiting up at the net in a very different way, more of a regular tennis with a forehand grip. It's a little unique on the men's side. Oh, that's a smart lob there from Randt. He held it, and Gart thought he was going to hit a chip drive, so he stepped forward, and then he just pushed it over his head. Great shot.
Oh, got him.
Yep, it's a great shot. And that area right there on Thomas's Nolan corner on the far side, that's the one area where the sun's going to have the big effect. The most it's filled, it's coming right into that corner. Oh,
15-40.
There we go. Couple of break points now for Randt and Mitchell. You got to be careful. They cross, but he volleys it hard and down, and it just gives an easier ball over there. And Mitchell swats it away with a great shot.
Yeah, that was like a gift. That was a high sitter.
Now, Gart and Nolan, they'll hang in there and they'll keep playing. But I have seen that, you know, some of their matches, they're either in them or sometimes they're not. And they got to stay in this one. You know, you can't let Randt steamroll you.
Yeah, he's a good front runner.
Oh,
15 love.
It's a good blitz. You know, Randt very sort of like hanging out, not rushing back into the net. So Gart had a shot there. Good roller there from Mitchell. Heavy whipping forehand, Thomas Nolan. Good shots. A lot of topspin. So 15 all. Again, great look from Thomas Nolan.
30-15.
The one thing I do wonder, you said before, Lauren, that Gart and Nolan have played a lot of tournaments, and they have. But, you know, Adam Gart's out in Denver now.
Yeah.
So, you know, he does get to play, and he has known he's, you know, in there with the Denver playing crew. They got a growing crew of people up there. But there's not as much opportunity to play.
No, there's not the same critical mass, the same number of top players.
Ooh.
Game. Randt Mitchell, the score is 3-1.
And there you hear the umpire announce it, 3-1. Randt Mitchell, good break of serve there.
Well, you see,
Earlier.
Gart and Nolan are trying. They're trying different things. They're blitzing. They're trying to cut balls off. They're not just, you know, they're not content to just play the long points. They're trying to make something happen. So far, it hasn't been in their favor.
I think it's warming up a lot out there. This morning when we got here, it was cold. And you see that sun, you can feel it warming up. The players are getting down. You see Nolan's already in his T-shirt. That's what we're going to see throughout the day. T-shirt and shorts from most of the players. And there you see a little forecast there, 32. It's going to go up to 49 today. So clearly it's going to be moving up in temperature throughout the day, and that's going to change the play.
Yeah.
You know, for those players who like to play fast and long, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be hard to keep the ball off the screens, but it's also going to be hard to put the ball away.
There was a put away. A Johan Durant special.
Yeah, we've seen many, many, many of those over the years. He's got a great cut overhead.
Drew the volleyer from Durant there. A couple of good forehands.
Wow, great cutoff there from Thomas Nolan.
Yes.
Good positioning there from Adam Gart.
No. 15-40.
All right.
Felt like Gart and Nolan were in control at that point, and then Durant came in behind that ball, and then you've given it up to him.
Yeah, they don't have a specific pattern to play. It looked early on they were going to attack Mitchell with rollers into the corners. You've seen a little bit of everything,
Right.
but nothing specific at this point in time from Gart and Nolan. I'm not sure they know where or how to play it, and if they're going to play it just like straight up without a specific plan here and there, I think it's going to be hard for them. Because
Yeah. Well, either they're trying to do different things to figure it out, or they're just playing to play. And if that's the case, this is going to go quickly.
Yeah, so many times you have to know where you're playing the ball, what you're trying to accomplish in the point, other than, you know, we talk about keeping the ball in play and things like that, but it's not just about keeping the ball in play. It's hitting shots with a purpose to move people to certain parts of the court or to make them play certain shots that you think you can be eliciting an error with down the road. Nice shot there from Randt, of course, moving forward, blitzing.
Here we go again.
Little sun in that corner too. Good low overheads from Mitchell. He'll do a good job hitting overheads that aren't easy to attack. He won't hit a lot of attacking overheads. It's going to be more Durant's job.
Get the feeling here that at some point Gart and Nolan are going to hit a short lob.
Well, early on, you know, Durant's not been in that. They're not switching or looking to put all the overheads in Durant's hands. Mitchell's taking care of it here. And again, he's hitting them shots that are not easy to attack. He's doing a good job, but he's not specifically attacking them either, or creating anything in the point. So they're just going to battle it back and forth for a bit until they get the right ball to hit. And you'll see the point speed up quickly, and then it'll dial back into the same zone.
Oh.
It's a good point for them. They need to win a couple of points like that. You know, of the teams right now, obviously Randt and Mitchell are up, and they've been winning a lot more of those, you know, getting the errors out of Gart and Nolan.
Well, I think, do you think if we see more points like that where Randt and Mitchell are at the net and Gart and Nolan are just in it for the long haul, I think we'll see them switch at net, don't you?
Yes.
You go. I got. You go. Yeah. You. Yeah. Yes. I got. You go. You go. Yes.
Nice.
Game to Gart and Nolan. The score is 3 games to 2 in favor of Randt Mitchell.
Like the fist bump there from Adam Gart. There you go, Johan Durant. It's warming up out there, like we said.
That was a good hold.
That was great. They came back from 15-40 down. Played solid points. Didn't give them anything. And that's the key.
At the set. Yeah. This is the last round where it's at the set. Next round will be at the 7 games.
You got it. Again.
Boy,
Love 15.
he's going for a soft little roller to the side screen. Part of the thing that Durant does so well is he holds the ball. You know, some of those top players, they're able to generate power and shots from very minimal positions so they can hold it to the last second. Makes such a big difference. Oh, that is a heck of a drive there from Thomas Nolan. Good job.
15.
Thomas Nolan stepping it up.
Give me love 30.
Ooh,
Love 40.
about that. A wake-up call. Yeah, that's the greatness of
15-40.
Johan Randt. You hit a great return at his feet. You think you're blitzing in and taking control of the point, and he hits a touch volley, soft and low, and you can't do anything with it, and takes the net right after it.
And suddenly it's his. He's in control, and not you.
I got it.
Now, these type games are big in the sense that you get up to that 40-love lead, you're down the break. You need to get the break now. If you let them come back and take it, it's all like a lot of wasted energy, and it's a letdown. We want to get it even here, so we're going to play a couple of good, hopefully really solid points. This is what they're going to have to do. The faster the points go, the better it's going to be for Randt. Mitchell, they're going to need to just hit good grinding balls and wait for that ball. You can see Thomas Nolan's got a pretty good forehand. Gart can hit it as well. Nolan's actually can hit the forehand and the backhand. You won't see any backhands really out of Gart. They're not going to want to mix it up in blitz exchanges and things and transition game stuff with Randt.
No, very few people come out on the right side of those.
Oh, what a great roller from Randt. All right. Thomas Nolan almost dug it out. 30-40.
Yes, yes.
You go.
Oh, that's beautiful play there from Mitchell, that low dipper.
Leave it.
That is a great roller. Good job.
Gart, Nolan. The score is 3 games apiece.
I was surprised when Randt went up to that short ball that he held it and he hit a little lob there. I thought he was going to start trying to do a little wizardry.
Right, chip and come in himself. Well, Gart and Nolan have done a good job eliminating their errors.
Yeah, they made a few loose ones early on, Lauren, and now they're playing tighter, solid points. They're playing the right kind of tempo. They're taking their offense when they're getting it, but they're not hitting sort of like arbitrary offense. They're waiting to get the guys off the net and taking an attack. You see Randt. Send it up, the quick dink, the blitz in, the fast forehand. Now they're back to square one again.
Love.
All right, getting a couple of slow errors here, you know, creeping in. Good job.
15-15.
All right, so 15 all. Oh, got that right in the crease, and after Randt twisted around. Great shot there from Adam Gart. Ha! So dangerous. You know, he's dinking the ball back there, attacking him, but he's so smooth up there. Oh,
40-15.
you know, that was a hittable ball by Mitchell, but he's not set to hit it. Oh, the sirens there throwing off Thomas Nolan. There's some sirens in the background.
Game.
All right.
Sloppy game.
Nolan.
Yeah, a little bit of a sloppy game.
Yeah.
You got 2 errors out of Mitchell there, and then that loose long overhead there from Randt. So, but good job by Gart and Nolan, sort of drying up their errors, playing the right tempo, attacking the balls when they need it, finding some good rollers.
I just only have 3. So
Pretty nice job.
Give a score update. Bonfigli and Protsenko are up 3-2 against Blake Anderson and Martin Bostrom.
Great. You know, that's a good team, Anderson and Bosterman. Protsenko and Bonfigli will play a really good style of paddle. You know, solid and good choices, generally speaking. Try to attack the right ball. It won't be dynamic. You know, the dynamic stuff comes more from Anderson and Bostrom. Bostrom,
See
real
the
great hitter of the ball. He's got spins, cuts, works. Anderson's super solid. Got a roll forehand, good blitzer, knows a lot how to, knows how to play really well for the young players.
You see the South African writing on the back of Durant and Mitchell's shirt. They're both South African.
Yeah, that they broke those out at the Boston Open. Fun shirts. It's sort of a nod to their countrymen back home. You know, the people who might be watching on the live stream. Sort of a tongue-in-cheek. It kind of means basically like bug off or that kind of thing. So little fun thing for them.
Another update. Marco Grangero and George Wilkinson are up 4-1 against Carano and Wagner.
Yeah, that'll be Wilkinson and Grangero will be a tough matchup just for Carano and Wagner. Carano's interesting though. He takes the ball both double-handed early and drives it down. Very quick release, sort of Morneau-esque.
And the number 1 seeds, Hughes and Powers, are up 2-1 against Baxter and Held.
So everybody's underway.
Yeah, it's still early in all these matches, but they're all going.
We got a lot of great matches out there. Boris and Stojisavljevic have played against Goncalves and Orban, who had 2 really good wins. Live streamed them yesterday, and then they won their next round against a very good team of Green and Vidal. So good job by Goncalves and Orban.
And Araya and Parsons are up 4-1 against Lofgren and Phillips.
No! 30 love.
That's a great cutoff volley there from Randt. He read that drive from Thomas Nolan and stuffed it at Adam Gart. Oh, nicely done.
15.
Move those drives around. Mitchell reaching a little on that volley instead of getting his body behind it. Oh, the tweener.
40-15.
Great cut overhead there from Randt.
$40-30.
And Gart all over that net. Turnaround drive by Mitchell.
Game, Durant, Mitchell. The score is 4 games apiece.
See, Randt went to work with some great cut overheads there in that game.
Love.
Oh.
15 all.
2 quick points. My goodness, they don't get any quicker than that.
A missed return and a fault. Wow.
Good dipping forehand.
30.
Yeah, and he hit it off his heel, so Thomas Nolan, he just wasn't looking for
Yeah.
it. And he's at such that quick release from Randt. That's the kind of shot, though, where if he hits it in the net, I'm probably going to go, bad choice. there
Bad
from
choice.
Randt. Right? High risk shot, but then he makes them, and it's a surprise winning shot. So you live with it. Take calculated risks. When they pay off, they're great.
Ooh.
15-40.
Now this is what we saw earlier
Yeah.
when they sort of got down there. Now the errors creeped in there. Just a couple of mistakes here. They gotta keep it going tight.
30.
Mitchell's
40.
helping them. He's made quite a few forehand errors.
He's missed a few. He's got a really good forehand, but he's not putting any margin on it right now. He's hitting it into the net.
Durant's starting to feel it too.
Mitchell, they lead by a score of
Yeah, I think
5
Thomas
to
Nolan's
4.
playing really well. Gart's made some good plays, but he's also made some loose mistakes. But they're battling out, but now Gart and Nolan got to break again to get back in it. They were able to do it last time. So Johan Durant serving for the set here. Oh, look at that place forehand down the line from Durant.
You hear Durant telling Mitchell, stay there, stay patient.
Oh, and then of course he jumps right in front. Well, it's kind of funny.
That was very funny.
Great shot there from Thomas Nolan. Thomas Nolan's played some good ball here in this first set. All right, so go.
Gave one back.
Yep, 15-30. Gart is quick in. He likes that blitz.
You go. You go. You go.
Ooh.
You. You go. You go.
Great ball there from Mitchell. Oh!
You go.
Yeah, they got a bail here. Really good transition play there from both teams.
You go.
It's a great point. Goes one attacking overhead. Another. I love watching Durant's head. His eyes stay on the ball really long time. His head completely still. There's a ball, an opportunity for Gart. Great volley from Mitchell. What I love about this point, Lauren, is you see Gart and Nolan knowing it's a huge, they need this game. It's a 15-30 point, but there it is.
30 all.
Gave him the commentator's jinx.
Totally. That was
Now
not
he's
a great forehand.
Gart's missed a few.
I got it. I got it.
Oh, all right, big.
40.
There's the break point. Oh, he swung volley on that high ball from Nolan. Nolan's playing really well.
5 games to 5 games.
All tied up.
I think Mitchell knows he needed to get out of the way of that ball. Instead, he kind of pushed it as it got up high on him. It surprised him a little. Randt's one of the quicker players on the tour in his ability to move up the side wire. He stands almost still in a basic position where you think, oh, I'm going to hit it to the side wire. Then, like lightning, he moves over there and he snaps a forehand at you. Very quick feet and a quick release. It's incredible. Because he's surprising. You don't see that from every player all the time.
He's cat-like. He just
Yeah.
kind of moved so smoothly and so quickly.
Oh, there you see Thomas Nolan actually swatting a volley there. So, quick right back, love 30. Good job there from Durant, moving around. The pressure on him. Yeah, smart.
Love 40.
Oh, great move from Mitchell. Perfect play.
Boy, did he stick that volley.
Yeah, he was all over it.
Okay, chance to serve the set out again for Randt and Mitchell.
Yep. And we'll see. Gart and Nolan have been good. When the chips have been down, they've played good, disciplined points. And, you know, Nolan's played a great set. Gart's played a good set. He just made a few more errors. I can't say there were bad shots or bad choices all the time. He just made a few more mistakes. You know, Mitchell's played a good set, too. He just made a few more mistakes. That's, you know, really it. See Nolan and Gart switching in the backcourt. They like to return from specific sides. They'll play it both ways, and either time you see a team switch in the backcourt, it usually means they just want to create different looks on the court. This puts Thomas Nolan at the backhand and the forehand. To me, his forehand's the bigger weapon. And now you get Gart's forehand. You know, his backhand out of play in the middle, really. All right, there's a miss there from Gart.
No.
2 misses.
Love.
Yeah, you want to get out of there.
That's right. Pushing him out.
Well, he made his one move. He was lucky to get out of there with his life. He made a tough volley just to hang in there, and then that's a great play there. Triple set point, Lauren. Oh! Thomas
He's
Nolan,
laughing.
he went for a slap shot there, and he pounded it into the side screen. But that's first set to Randt and Mitchell.
We will be back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
Stephen,
I can't believe I caught you.
you came back. I knew you'd come back.
I have to ask you something.
Anything.
What is the Netflix password?
I love Stephen.
I love Steven. It's all lowercase, one word?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You gotta get it to get it.
See ya.
Watch movies, TV shows, and exclusive series instantly.
Welcome back to the 2019 APTA National Championships. We are now in the second set of this third round match between Johan Durant and Stephen Mitchell and Adam Gart and Thomas Nolan. So, Brad, that was a close first set. What should Gart and Nolan do to make it go their way in the second set?
You know, Gart and Nolan, I thought, played a good set at kind of the right pace. You know, they just made a few more errors. I thought Thomas Nolan played a great set. I thought Gart just missed a few balls here and there. Not a bad horrible choices of shot. Just take that last game. It was 2 missed lobs, an incredible shot, and then Randt, of course, is making some Randt shots and Randt plays, but you can't stop that. You can deal with it and mitigate it. They just have to play a little tighter. But I had no problem with how they went about their business. It was good. The only issue that I see is Gart really likes to blitz. You can see it's one of the moves he wants to make. He's gone up there and he's been effective a couple of times, but by and large, that's not a great play. If you feast and live on if one of your plays is trying to, attack by move, like that's a good move. I have no problem. He cut it off, hit a good volley. But if you want to blitz against a guy like Johan Randt, it's not going to be ideal. That's not at all why they lost the first set. They just made a few errors here and there. But it's a good set.
Araya Parsons won the first set, Hughes and Powers won the first set, and Grangero Wilkinson won the first set. And Anderson Bostrom are now up 6-5.
So good battle there with Onfili and Protsenko for Anderson and Bostrom. Nice test. So those are the scores we got so far. Haven't heard anything yet on the Boris-Stojsavljevic match?
No, and I just got an update on the Stulak match. They're up 5-4 against Morneau and Urdoya.
Oh, good. Great match.
Mike Stulak was inducted into the APTA Hall of Fame last night.
Yeah, it was an incredible ceremony. Just a great guy. I've had, 25 battles against him over the years, Always great to play against him. And he's a great competitor, super nice guy, well-deserved. Everybody's talking about the story how, they sent out surveys years ago where people would ask who's the most competitive, who has the best forehand, this and that. And Mike Stulak came up as the best sportsman and the most competitive, and it's not necessarily two things you think go together.
No.
And they do in his case.
Chelsea Nusslock last night was also presented with the Charlotte Lee Award for sportsmanship, another well-deserved honor.
Oh, she's like a sweetheart.
Yep.
In a weird way, we talked about it a little bit yesterday in the match because we live streamed her match, Lauren. She's such a sweetheart that I would like to see her not be tougher, but like take the lead on that team and say to her partner, okay, this is what we're going to do. I have a little more experience here, but she's so nice. She's just kind of playing and letting it go along the way.
Right, her partner is inexperienced, and Chelsea's got a lot of experience, but she's just happy to be out there playing with her friend, and of course she wants to do well, but it's not really her personality to take charge and say, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
Fredberg and Le Pavere won the first set.
Do you get the feeling in this match, though, that because I think Gart and Nolan, had a good way at it, made some good looks. I thought Nolan really did play an excellent set. He missed that wide there. Too bad. But I get the feeling that whatever happens, there's another 2 or 3 levels that Randt could go to sort of, okay, so it's 5-all. Randt Mitchell plugged away. They won 7-5. I got the feeling like if Gart and Nolan upped their game another level and a half, that Randt might go another level and a half too, or a level. If they up at 1.5, he's going to up at 1.7, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Randt doesn't mind keeping it close, but he's going to raise his level, as you said, if the other team does. He'll do just enough.
But that doesn't mean, though, if you stay with Randt and you stay on him, he will make some mistakes. I didn't think he made too many undue errors there. Like, they didn't come in. Sometimes they'll even come in batches, like 2 or 3, and he kind of almost, I don't know, loses his head a little, or he's so talented, he's like, I'm going to do this now. And then he goes, okay, I'll dial it back a little bit. We didn't see any of that. He played a really good set. Put good pressure on, used his skills, his touch, cut shots, all at the right time. just mentioned Bredberg and Le Prevert. They won their first set. You know, they're playing against a team from Denver, where Adam Gart is now. So, you know, it's good to see Denver represented that region out here in the round of 32. They're playing a team of Hinson Schwab, who actually had a seed at the Midwestern, so it's a good team. So there's some really good growing paddle out there in the Denver area.
Anderson and Bostrom are in a tiebreak now, so we'll let you know who wins that. Ooh, caught. Randt.
That's a good shot.
There you go. Yes.
Nice cut-off chip there from Durant.
Yeah. You go.
Add in.
So quick that release. He dips it low, perfectly placed right in between. Makes Adam Gart stretch. Oh, well, it's so funny how that worked out. You see Garton over there, and Nolan's coming in. He sees all of a sudden Durant move forward, so he guides the ball cross court. But it happens so fast that Gart doesn't even get a chance to switch over, and then you see Micker just whoop, quick flick forehand right through the center. Beautiful
Yeah, there was a big
shot.
hole there.
All right, I did get a report that Budish and Stojsavljevic won their match. So they won their round of 32 over Goncalves and Orban.
Even number doesn't work. It's gonna be uneven number.
That's
Then the
game
other
four.
guy serves. Otherwise, the same guy serves. That's why it's 7-9. So it is uneven number. We play one more game, yeah?
I think they're talking about the ball change, perhaps?
I believe.
Yeah, because I think he's saying we play one more game, because one more game we make it 14 games. That would be ball change every 7 games. That's a great cutter there, nice dig, and that's gonna do it. Beautiful.
Love 15.
Incredible shot, love 5.
Love 30.
All right, they got to slow this down now, play some good tight points. I feel like this could get away from him here.
$15-30.
Ha!
Good duck.
That was an excellent duck.
You know, even though all these guys can crack the ball and have big shots, well, there was just a flat-out winner.
Yeah,
you
I think that
see-
was a miss hit, though.
Yeah.
I don't think he was hitting a drop volley. I think he was hitting an attacking volley wide.
But as our friend Isla Main, who's watching from home, pointed out, it's they're so patient. They wait and they wait, because if you don't, those big shots aren't going to help you.
Durant Mitchell. Randt Mitchell leads the second set by a score of 2-1. They won the first set 7-5.
That was a very good job by the umpire there. He was almost giving us suspense there too. They won, but you're waiting for it.
He really
And there it was.
enunciated.
7-5, very good. So it's 2-1 to Randt Mitchell here in this second set. And great points. And this is the key time now. So Gart and Nolan had a few miscommunications there. They just got broken, once again. And we saw that in the first set. They've been playing a good balance of points, and then boop, 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 3 or 4 and a couple of bad choices in there, and it's the exact same playbook over again. They just can't afford that stuff against a guy like, you gotta make Durant give you a few points here and there, or find a way to break down Mitchell. And they're not going to do it if they're making the mistakes or having the miscommunications.
Love 15.
And it's, it can't be helping Gart and Nolan that Gart's moved to Denver. Even though they come to these tournaments, they don't get to practice together. They don't get to work on these various things or different ways they want to go about their business.
30.
You're right, Lauren. They've played enough together over the years where it's not, but it's not like they're Goodspeed and Manziger and they played for 15 years with 10 national champions. They still got some stuff to work out.
I always felt like we were like where we live, Brad, in the New York, Connecticut, New Jersey area. We're so lucky because we have such a choice of people to play with, and you can have a partner who you can practice with, and that's such an advantage.
Well, Lauren, it's nice that you have a choice, but nobody will play with me anymore, so I don't have any choices. Thanks for making me feel bad. It's good that you have choices, though. No, but you're right. In the area, there are so many great pros and so many great players, and there's a critical mass of them.
Game, Gart, Nolan.
Well, that was a quick break.
2 games to 2, second set.
Yeah, it was a great game for them in the sense like they got a couple of points there. Freebie here, it's good. I like that. That's a unique sort of start for how Thomas Nolan does the Australian formation. He gets down almost like a runner's crouch. Most people just sort of squat down. He's got like a long, low runner's crouch. It's pretty cool. He's a tall guy, Thomas Nolan, so keeps him really low. Allows the server to serve over the top. Nice dig there by Mitchell. That's a dangerous overhead. Yeah, that is not the one you want to hit down up to the Durant forehand. So they smartly bailed, but not the shot.
A little hesitation there. I think Durant thought Mitchell was going to take that ball.
It was a little far. I'd like to see Mitchell take it,
Yes.
or they got to just call it earlier. I didn't hear a yes or a no or anybody call it out, so definitely.
I think that was the problem.
Yeah. Ah.
15-15.
Oh, great drop shot there.
30-15.
Durant, he went for the better drop shot.
Yep.
Put it in the top of the net. It's one of the plays, so you can either redrop or lob that ball, and then third play you could use if the guy's up tight, you could flick it right at his chest.
So Brad Anderson and Bostrom won the first set 7-5 in the tiebreaker.
Nice. Now it's a pretty long day today. There's going to be a lot of matches. Now, are you of the belief that you got to play a really tight, long one, or you believe, like, because it gets your juices flowing and it gets you in the next one, or you believe that you want to get through with expending as little energy as possible, and then when you get to that big moment, you'll have enough energy for it?
I think in these tournaments where, I mean, the matches are all so physical now, and I think you're better off having easier ones. But if you can't, you can't. You can use that to your advantage too.
You got to play. Everybody's out there to win. Oh, that's a good ball. Very impressed with Thomas Nolan's play today.
That dropped in.
Oh, he waited
40,
too long
30.
to see if it was in. Then it was in. Then he waited too long and it died on the side screen.